Now the wheel's off the ground. Check this out. Can you see that wiggle in it? Hello friends, today I'm working on my wheel bearings. As the title of the video says, it's like my mechanic tried to kill me because I paid a guy to put my wheel bearings in on all my axles. He didn't do a very good job. Let me show you what happened. But first and foremost, I do want to say this. I believe firmly in the Jocko Willink doctrine, which is this is 100% my fault. So if I would have taken this thing down the road and this wheel would have came off and something would have happened, it would be on me because I hired the person and I should know how something's done, and I should have been able to say, hey, that's not the correct way. You need to either redo it or you need to move along, my friend. And this guy works in a mysterious way. I was working on my power steering because it was giving me some issues. It was still drivable. It nags me. So I just kept working on it a little bit on the side. And I had it jacked off the ground like this. The wheel spins. I was making sure the stops were all set correctly and everything. And I wiggled on the wheel. That wheel feels like it has a lot of shake in it. Let me see if I can get a better angle for it. There's a good angle for it. I'm pressing on the wheel. You see that? See that angle? See that wiggle in it? We're gonna take this wheel off and I'm gonna show you maybe the best way to see if your bearings are giving you a problem. That I know how. I am not an expert at all, okay? I don't even like wheel bearings, but I'll show you what I would do if I thought my wheel bearings were giving me problems. But this one has definitely got issues. I took the hub cover off. I haven't touched any of this. This is a Pro Torque nut. What it is just one nut instead of the two that normally come on these old trucks. This is the one. You tighten it down to the specs. I think the specs there's some good videos out there. The specs are tighten this down when you put it on 200 foot-pounds, spin it around, tighten again to 200 foot-pounds, spin it around, tighten to 200 pounds. Then back it off one full turn, tighten it again to 100 foot-pounds, spin it around, tighten it to 100 foot-pounds, spin it around, and then 100 foot-pounds. Then you're supposed to see these, I don't know if you could see them. See these little dots? Okay. There's some.
So we gotta go to the car. I'm gonna take the lug nuts off, right?
No.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing over here.
What's he doing? All right, now back to where we were before I was interrupted. It's high quality production. Guy, I gotta show you this. This kid has a little boat, you know, a little fun time. He had his wheel. He's gonna drive it like 70 miles. His dad said, "Hey, that ain't right." You know, we jacked it up and pulled the whole wheel off, so the bearings were shot. So the thing is, with this particular nut, you're supposed to be able to get between the 0.001 and the 0.003 inch tolerance. Really simple with this setup. And so when you back it off a turn, it means you're going from, see where there's a little dot on here, and then there's a little dot. I think there's a little dot here. Wherever the dot is, the first dot, you turn it back to this dot, and you can kind of line it up with this bolt. That's the theory behind it. But you can't just do that. You can't just do that and then call it a day. You have to make sure it's within spec with a dial indicator. Otherwise, you still might have yourself a real bad problem. Okay, I went ahead and put the tire back on because I can get more leverage on it. You could check it without the tire on, but I thought this would be easier if I just put the tire on. And I got a dial indicator, and each number on there is 0.001. So we're gonna see just how far off this thing is, because it has to be less than 0.005 5 inches, okay? It can't move. It needs to move at least 0.001, but it can't go more than 0.005. If it does, you're gonna have issues. You attach it there, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. All it has to do is be on that spindle. And it's on there pretty dang good. Let's give her a test. Whoa! This is 0.015. It's close to 0 there. See how far off it is? It's triple the tolerance of 0.005. If you want it around 0.003, it's 5 times the amount that it should be. So I'm gonna have to take this all the way apart because the wheel seals are leaking. So I don't know, maybe if I put it on there right, the wheel seals will work again, but I'm just gonna change the wheel seals out for sure. I'm gonna check these bearings out and see what they look like. Oh, this is hilarious. This is the keeper. The instructions say every time you take this keeper off, you're supposed to replace it. The parts store never heard of such a thing. So, I don't know. That's what the directions say. If you don't want to cause bodily harm, it says warning, change the keeper each time. Oh yeah. All right, so I got it back together. I put the 200 foot-pounds to seat it, spun around, did all the steps for the 200 foot-pounds. Now, and I backed it off in one whole turn. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the 100 foot-pounds. Now, a lot of people say to turn the wheel, but while you're doing this, but with this Pro torque nut, I watched a video from Stumco, from the guys that make it, and just to be sure I was doing it right, and they said to not move it until you torque it to the first 100 foot-pounds. At least that's what I got out of it. And then to do a whole turn here. And smack it around again. Hey. I'm going to install my old keeper for temporary use. Make sure everything's working right before I put it all together. I'm going to put this tire back on, and then I'm going to put the dial indicator on. We're going to see just where we are. Well, I think I got it. I'm about 0.003. I give it a good shake. The dial indicator there. So I think we're pretty close. Well, my friends, Ned Stevens lives to fight another day. We got this thing done. We do have to get some gaskets to put this on and fill it with fluid. Got them at the dang truck store, so me and Santa are going to travel down there and go get those. I also have a couple more sets of axles to check, because dang it, I had them change multiple bearings. You just gotta laugh about it at this point. You just gotta laugh about stuff like that. Anyway, I hope you all are doing well. Take care out there, and we'll see you on the next one.